Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Hey, it's Kate, and we are here for episode 2 of the EduKate podcast, where I am learning all about Taylor Swift, and I've got my two right-hand women, Jess and Lizzie, who seem to know way more about this wonderful woman than I actually do. But I'm so intrigued. Hi, ladies.
Hi. I'm the Swiftie on the left and you're the Swiftie on the right.
Correct.
Not politically, just as to where we're sitting.
Is there a meaning in that?
No.
Sometimes when you speak like that, I'm thinking you guys are saying the lyrics of songs.
Yeah.
It was like in the text the other day.
I know!
When Jess said, I'm still at the restaurant. And I said, Jess, it's time to leave the restaurant.
Which is a song, just so you know, Right Where You Left Me is a bonus track on which album was it, Lizzie? Maybe Evermore. And she's talking about still being in a restaurant where this relationship ended and she can't move on. This new person has, you know, kids and Christmas and everything, but she's still there in that one
stuck
spot.
Spiritually.
And I was saying,
I'm
a bit stuck on one of Taylor's, what I believe to be a relationship. And I feel like I'm still in the restaurant. Everyone's moved on to Travis and I'm struggling to get there. But
okay. Well, when you guys chat with each other like that, I feel incredibly left out.
But that's why we're here.
Okay. And thank you to everybody who sent us or got involved, all your feedback from the first episode.
Yeah, that was fun reading all the comments, wasn't it?
It was.
Actually, we should do a big shout out to Gabby, who I think listened to it twice just because she was worried she missed some stuff.
Thanks, Gabby.
Thank you, Gabby. Now, I just want to do a little bit of cute stuff because I don't know all the deep details as yet, but I'm really loving seeing Taylor Swift and, of course, Travis Kelce out and about. This is actually what our texts were about over the weekend. I think it was Sunday night. First official photos of them hand in hand. Date night. Like, I mean, even if you don't know either of these people, it just looked like the date you wanted to be on, and I don't really know who I wanted to be on the date with. Do I want to go and hang out with Taylor Swift? Do I want Travis Kelce to be holding my hand as like the best dressed man in New York? And then I found myself deep diving into his fashion. Anyway, we'll get to that another time. But he's apparently like, I mean, he's only come to light for me recently, but he's a bit of a style king himself, and now has the perfect handbag in Taylor. But what I was reading, I think it came from Dumois. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Do you want me to ding you?
Yeah.
Okay, hang
if
on.
I'm getting it right.
There you go.
Thank you
Well
so
done.
much, ladies. Of course, we've seen Taylor at the football games. Not trackside.
Oh, yeah. What do you say?
Oh.
Pitch side?
No.
Field side.
No. Let's just say in the box.
In the box, yeah.
And she was in the players' box, I would imagine, beside Travis's mum. And she was wearing the attire. So she had the colours on, the bright, you know, she had her signature red lips, and then she had a Chiefs jersey jacket on.
Some merch, wasn't she?
She was. Now,
Looked
it
the
turns
part.
out the real deal merch, the real deal merch is on its way. The jacket she was wearing for the past 2 games belongs to somebody else. But then somebody called Dumois, and I think they're called Fetch, fashion, store where you can get absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And Travis has apparently gone in there and has actually purchased vintage Chiefs gear.
Are you serious?
Had it wrapped, and now all eyes will be on whether Taylor's going to be wearing these kind of incredible pieces. They're not, I'm guessing they're not just what you buy from your average store.
So is it like a vintage store that stocks all the different teams' merch or something from maybe a few years ago?
Oh, Jess, I haven't had the
Why
chance
am I getting
to
teary
research
about that?
And why don't you have... Well, you have to wait for... I think it's October 22 is the next Chiefs game. Everyone will be waiting for Taylor to turn up, and perhaps she'll be wearing the items that Fetch is saying that Travis went in and bought over their date weekend.
Which kind of brings us to this bit of news, which I know we spoke about on the Fitzy Whipper Kate Ritchie show. There was that amazing story that came out with someone saying that the reason that she went to the Jets game was to hide the SEO Google searches of her private jets. Which is like, if you think of Taylor Swift as a business, that is hilarious and amazing to think that they would go to that length. They've grabbed this as a PR opportunity to try and flush that
So
search out.
divert people.
Yeah,
You know, like
just to change what comes
hey,
up on Google.
Look over here.
Yeah, no longer does she have the most emissions.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty
It's
sure
giving
she was-
Mastermind.
It is giving Mastermind, Lizzie, exactly. And Kate, we will play that song for you and you're going to love it.
So I knew that was another reference.
The
I
other one that
didn't get.
came out that I explained on the show was the 1975. So remember, originally she had gone to that concert back in 2016 with her best friend and sort of rumoured flame at the time, Karlie Kloss, and they got quite close on the balcony. It looked like they were kissing, and there were photos of them that came out at the 1975.
It looked like they were kissing, or they were
Well,
kissing.
look, I've watched all the videos. It's
From every
very
angle.
hard to say. Like, I don't know. I just think there's obviously that night you can tell she's had fun with her friends, probably a bit intoxicated. Maybe she did. Regardless of, she's gotten that close enough to make it look like that.
Okay.
And then I think the next day she tweeted, or a few days later, as my 25th birthday present from the media, I'd like you to stop accusing all my friends of dating me, which is quite a funny way to talk around what may or may not have happened. And then, of course, in Dancing with Our Hands Tied, which is a wonderful song about literally dancing, holding someone close, bit about a secret relationship, that sort of thing. There's a line in there about being 25 years old. How was I to know? So if you kind of unpack it a little bit and look into it a little bit more closely, it does align that maybe there was something going on there.
Between Karlie and Taylor.
Between Karlie and Taylor, which is a big, that's a big sort of, I won't say conspiracy, but a lot of people believe
That would be a whole episode in itself.
Well, that's
and
what
it
I'm.
might
That's what I
be.
wanted to ask you. Do you think that Karlie and Taylor?
I mean, I definitely
Dated?
do. But also, I like to look at Taylor's life through a queer lens personally, because
Yeah.
I am.
Yes.
So to me, that makes the music resonate a bit more. Whereas I think other people might view it differently. But for me, that makes me connect to the lyrics and looking at it through that kind of frame.
So every song you listen to, you can kind of get out of it what you need or are feeling at the time.
exactly. Or what I feel like she might be presenting.
What do you
even
think,
if that's not
Lizzie?
necessarily true.
See, I don't know. I had a really close friend in high school where our friendship was almost like a relationship, and people would often think that we were in a relationship.
Yes.
But we weren't. It was just very electric and female and,
Yeah.
girl power vibes the whole way through.
Yeah.
But,
That didn't mean
No, it
no one
didn't.
needed to label that as a relationship necessarily.
Yeah.
So this is something that Taylor perhaps does, or Taylor's team does regularly. If there's something that may not necessarily align with who she wants to present publicly, they then push something else out.
And this is what it comes down to. So before Karlie, the rumours are, if you are to believe along those lines, that she might like women, or she might like men and women, or just is a bit open, is that she dated actress Dianna Agron, who was in Glee. She played Quinn, I think it was.
I'll
in
have to
Glee.
have a look.
I'll see if I can put a photo up for you, Kate. And
Blonde.
they hung out and had a very intense relationship for like a year or so, and then almost it was like a friendship breakup. Like they stopped hanging out publicly, which is also what happened with Karlie and Taylor, and then she was kind of gone. Until Taylor hosted SNL like a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, and in the crowd, or through the line of people to go into SNL, was Dianna, and people saw that she had this VIP pass on her as well. So they're like, I can't believe this. It's coming back. SwiftGron, they call it. She's there. What does this mean? They're trying to unpack things. There's all old photos coming up. We don't really know past, except that she sings, I think, False God, and she's in the audience, and someone said she was like, smiling at her and that sort of thing.
And what is False God? What is False God about?
Oh, well, that's just one of the songs.
Oh, okay. That doesn't have anything particularly tied.
Everybody thinks the song about Diana is a song called Wonderland, which is on 1989 as a bonus track.
The reason that I want to bring this up
Yeah.
is because we've now seen Travis, new partner, supposedly, they are holding hands, coming out of SNL with Taylor. They've both done it on the same night. He was in a skit. She introduced Ice Spice. They held hands coming out of the SNL after party. So the same place Diana was papped. And now if you Google Taylor Swift, SNL, Diana's gone. It's now the photos of Travis. Discuss. So you see what I mean? There's a bit of a pattern of this erasing the SEO search history. So you can no longer, obviously if you dig 20 pages in, you can find it. But for all the new fans, like you, for example, Kate, who might just be trying to catch up and work this
You mean
out.
who's like completely uneducated and a little idiotic in the Taylor
We are educating.
Very
I know,
good, Lizzie.
I know,
now.
but I know what you mean. I wouldn't be digging deep. I
Yeah.
would just be saying Taylor SNL.
Yeah.
And now I'm fed Travis looking amazing,
Exactly.
hand in hand.
And I mean, I think the key thing to take away here is if we ever Google Fitzy Whipper, Kate Ritchie, Taylor Swift, and she's come in for an interview, and this podcast has been wiped from the Google searches, old Jess was on the money.
Confirmed.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.